Hello, my name is Jeremiah Semien, and I'm gonna hopefully be able to combine all of my documentaries into this one documentary about my life story. Basically, a lot of people ask a lot of questions about me, and it's kind of hard to ignore a lot of some of the questions. So I'm hoping that I can answer each and every one of them within the story. Years have taught me that in this lifetime that nothing is easy. I know some people think I have it easy, I have it going on. Some people think I can do almost the impossible. But I guess I feel as though I'm trying to do the best that I can do, and in the long run try to make a living. That's basically it. And it's not easy, especially in this world. It's not easy. I mean, I'm a country boy who was raised in Lawton, Louisiana, so it's not easy. I finally realized that there's things that I need to do with my own life. Alright, people can read my autobiography, and I think you can kind of tell a little bit about who I am, basically. And since there's 10 chapters, then I think you can basically summarize my story. Basically, I have worked different jobs. I've went to different schools, tried to get an education. But basically, I knew that being in the entertainment business is something I wanted to do since I was 10 years old. So I suppose I didn't really put forth a lot of effort into pushing my education as I should have. Probably I haven't. I think I did the best that I could do at the time that I was supposed to do it. I've also had different experiences in life. I've had different girlfriends, not all at the same time, but I've had different sexual experiences. As you could tell, I feel as though in life you're gonna have to learn a lot of things on your own. There's a lot of things that can't be taught to you. I've had a spiritual experience as well, out of body experience if you want to call. Had a chance to see what is out there beyond the natural life or beyond the physical life. And there's a lot of things that when you experience in life, you have to go all the way. Alright, with so much things that I've went through, I've learned that in life it doesn't really pay to be ugly with other people. It doesn't even pay to try to curse anyone out, try to belittle someone. I mean, things like that happen to me. I mean, even if you think about it, even when I had to lose weight and my family really put a lot of pressure on that aspect of my life. So with all these different experiences that I experienced throughout my life, I realized that it doesn't pay what people say, because no one in this world can put a roof over your head, clothes on your back, and food in your stomach unless it's you. And you have to be able to do that. You can also say prayers. I've learned that, especially when it's me personally, and when I was not giving like tithes and offering like I was supposed to, I kind of seen a change, even a slight change, of giving money to different churches or whatever church I went to. So from there, like I said, from me being a child, like an outcast as a child, from also me being an outcast as a teenager, from people thinking about how I was weird, crazy, stupid, ignorant, even a country boy. How people view me as whatever racial background people may think of. Even though a lot of people should know that my heritage is basically Indian, it's African, it's French, it's Spanish, it's Polish, from the King Semien, from him especially. And basically with my father's side, who's basically is mostly Frenchman from France. Also, you can say European, white, or Caucasian, or whatever you want to call it. Maybe Jewish, since I think maybe the king was. But I think our origin of our name comes from the Bible, or so I was told, Semien, which I think is spelled Simeon, if I'm not mistaken. People spell it different ways. I mean, it's basically however people pronounced it. So, and well, like I said, whenever you see throughout my other documentaries about my life story, you kind of will get a little sense of me. And basically what I'm trying to do is put all these together into one story of my life. As I had books being published, as I have some films out, as I have two picture books, a calendar, a CD. I mean, even more, I say a CD, more than one CD. A lot of music out there. I know sometimes people might look at me and think about, I pause for a minute. I usually do, because sometimes, especially for me personally, thinking about the past makes you pause for a moment, think about what's going on in your life, and then eventually, hopefully, that you'll understand more as you get older. You're supposed to have wisdom. And a lot of people I work with don't have that, especially the elderly. And I've also learned, when a cousin of mine that had died years ago, Eva Rougeau, or whatever you call her, whatever last name she went by, but that's how I know her. When she used to tell me, when you put your hands together like this, she used to tell me that the spirit inside of you would pray. Maybe so. She said her mother used to tell her that. And basically it might be true to the fact. A lot of people think I'm not really spiritually connected or a spiritual sense, but I do have some kind of spiritual sense, like I had a spiritual awakening, whatever you want to call it, out-of-body experience, spiritual experience, whatever you want to call it. And I do feel that the spirit that's inside my body has its own agenda. I mean, I have my agenda too. As a human being, I think we all have agendas, but I think the spirit of that's inside of me has an agenda of trying to be closer to the Creator, if you want to call Him, or God, Jesus, whoever you want to call this spiritual being. And that's basically how I view things when it comes to the two sides of a person, the physical side and the spiritual side. And it's hard for my mind to comprehend, but I feel as though since I've had these experiences, I don't really have to comprehend what my spirit is doing. So basically my mind just almost flows through it. And I just go with the flow. I guess that's how my spirit does. It just go with the flow of my body. I think we both go with the flow with one another. And basically, after everything is done, especially during the day, sometimes I usually think about what I went through. And maybe there's more to come in this world. I hope so. And to finish, tell people about my life. Not only am I an artist which writes stories, even poetry, songs, and even do films, I also be part of the background. And sometimes I feel instead of always be in front of the camera, sometimes it's good to be behind it. And with other stories I'm sure to come that's being published, and hopefully with other things that I'm going through, hopefully my life is going to be look through the eyes of as many viewers as possible, and hopefully they'll understand who I am personally. As a person, sometimes, and a lot of people do this as well, some people are happy. Sometimes I'm happy. I can't say that I'm not happy with my life. I am sometimes happy with the result of my life. Sometimes I'm sad, sometimes I'm angry, sometimes I'm frustrated, sometimes I feel as though life is hard. And if anyone thinks about it, it is hard in life. And with the supplements I take, or the uppers and downers, even sometimes supplements I take at night, because when you're a type of person and you have bad sinuses, especially like I do, it's hard for you to sleep at night. And just like any other artist, sometimes I stay up. I have to finish projects, different things that I'm doing, and if I don't finish them, I feel like I can't really sleep. And I think that a lot of artists do that as well. And also, not only do I do these different films or songs or stories, poems, I'm trying to get a message out there. That's basically what I'm doing for the people in the world. Trying to get a message that maybe a lot of people might not understand. A lot of people have trouble, especially young teenagers who probably don't understand when it comes to sexual orientation, sometimes acceptance of their peers. Or I always felt that in my life I sometimes wanted to be accepted, but then years later I found out that it don't even pay to be accepted, because in the long run people either will like you for who you are or they hate you for who you are. And I'm a type of person, I don't really care if people talk about me, especially behind my back. I don't care if people write things about me on the internet. It doesn't matter. I'm just like any other human being. I have a lot of debts I have to pay out. I have a lot of bills to pay. I'm just like the boy next door. And that's basically the bottom line. So I think with everything you're gonna find out about me, basically, I'm hoping that it can help someone, maybe touch someone's life. And I'm hoping that I will be able to look back at my life and hopefully try to accept things that happen, whatever regrets I have in the long run. I just don't want to be the type of person to say I didn't do it. I want to be the type of person I did do it and enjoy doing it. And I do enjoy being in the entertainment business. I just hate the business side of it. I think anyone would understand that and appreciate it. Which is a collection of poetry. The second book that I have is called Tales of Unknown, the Stranger. This is a mystery. It takes place in Orange, Texas and Eunice, Louisiana. So if you're into mysteries, get it. Okay. This book is not my book, but it is a collection of different people's stories. I do have two poems that's in here called I Want You and King Jerry. My third book which came out is a collection of poetry called The Historical Jerry, which is a collection of poetry. My fourth book, The Dream, which came out, which is another collection of poetry. It's almost a novel like. My fifth book, The Legend of Jerry, The Histories of Jerry, which is a collection of poetry. My sixth book, The Vault, The Crystal Ball, it is a collection of poems as well, which this is my most controversial. I said 6, 7. So far 7 books. But now also you get to have this other book. It's called The Strange and Weird Fact Files of Simple Man. And this is kind of a semi-autobiography. It has to do fictional stories, but it does have some truth to it about myself. The next book is Brothers Night Out, which takes place in Falls Church, Virginia. And this is another mystery if you do like mysteries. This is kind of a book about the entertainment business, kind of a semi-autobiography of the entertainment business. It has a little bit of the truth and a little bit of fictional stories. The Sacrifice of Jeremiah, which contains the New Generation Act 1 and Act 2 in both books. And it talks about the entertainment business. It kind of has a little bit of a history about it, the entertainment business. This is a New Generation. This is the Act 2 book. The first one you saw was Act 1. This is Act 2. Basically, it tells the story of the second part. Or should I say, the New Generation tells the story of the part 1 and part 2 of the tour. So it does have a little bit of fiction and non-fiction to it. The next book is called Jerry and the New Generation. This is actually kind of the final tour. It's all of the tours combined. It has some kind of a little bit of fiction and a little bit of non-fiction. The Writings on the Wall is the next book, which is really a self-help book. And basically, it just deals about issues with life. The next mystery, this is, and actually, it's not really a mystery. This is science fiction, The Trial Lawyer. Basically, this takes place in the year 2020 in Los Angeles, California. And if you like a good science fiction story, this one's for you. The next book, The Lessons About Health, Love, and Money. Basically, that's what it's about. It's kind of a self-help book about health, love, and money. And they do have different Bible scriptures that go with it. The next book is a mystery and science fiction. It's a fantasy. J-Rock Government, The Dark Angel. And this takes place in Louisville. Well, it takes place in Kentucky, the different cities in Kentucky. And it is pretty good. The next book, The Legend of Jerry. This is a picture book. This is one of my picture books, The Legend of Jerry. You can get this. Like I say, some of these books are available online. Some are available through Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble's, Books A Million. Basically, if you type my name, and I'm hoping that my name will appear somewhere in this film, usually it does, and you'll be able to see my full name and be able to type it. The next book that's out, The King of Music, Jerry, King of Music. This is my autobiography. They do have an electronic version called The Histories of Jerry. The autobiography of Jeremiah is the same thing. Basically, I took things that happened to me and put them into a collection, which is this story, which is today. Okay, this is the CD that came out, and it does have 5 songs. This is like an EP, but it is part of the documentary Dare to See the Truth. It is part of a collection on it. This is the collection as well, what it looks like. The other one was the copy of the collection. I do have a mini autobiography, which was done by a company called Net Shows in Connecticut, and they're the ones who did the compilation album. And this is the 3 booklet, should I say, of me. This is a King Semien, it's called. This is also a picture book, but actually it comes in a 3 set you can get. So basically, there's a lot of things that has happened to me basically. And if anybody thinks about it, then anyone can accomplish anything. I do have some short films online where you could see them. I also have stories on the internet where you can read. Basically, I'm just trying to give my readers, and or should I say, not just the readers, my audience, a little bit, or should I say, a little taste of who I am. So basically, if you don't read the autobiography, basically if you do read some of my other stories and watch some of my films, you'll be able to kind of understand who am I. Just like if you also see the film The Man, the Story, the Legend, The Diaries of Jerry. Also if you see the events of Jerry. And then also I have other documentaries such as the Dare Tour. Basically it's kind of a performance that I've done. You can also see the first, my comedy acts, the first, Second Nature, Trinity, the comedy act, Forthcoming. You can see different comedy acts that I've done to kind of give you a little taste of who I am. Also, hopefully, by the time each of my audience members get a chance to at least get something from me, I hope that basically you'll take the things that I've done and hopefully you will kind of understand who I am, maybe incorporate it into your own lifestyle, probably. But I appreciate it then. Thank you. Yes, also if you don't want to get some of these books separate, I do have my 2 self-help books together called The Strays of the World. Basically it's the complete set. Both books is it's called The Lessons About Health, Love, and Money, and also it's called The Writings on the Wall. You can get both of them in this collection. And like I said, if you're looking to get other collections, King's Garden, New Generation Enterprise, the Jerry, and it's the Jerry and the New Generation story. It is basically, if you feel like getting this compilation, Jerry and the New Generation itself is a compilation book as well. Or if you don't want to get that one, King of Music Enterprise, which is this one, is kind of Jerry and the New Generation Enterprise. This one here, and this is the King of Music Enterprise, the Jerry and the New Generation story, which is also the same, a compilation. And it does have, not only does it have the stories, which is true or false as well, or fiction and non-fiction, it also have kind of a little bit about my life as well. It also have lyrics to songs that I've done. So basically I have done majority of a lot in the entertainment business. Not only that, I also have a partner which is in Florida, which is Steve Thompson, who is one of my partners in Florida. My partner called Micah Perry, who used to live in Tennessee, now living in Georgia, one of my other partners. And I also have one of my artists, which is Matt Gonzalez, Zawless as I call him, has his song in the film Animal 2, which him and I both published together. He wrote it, the song as well. And one of my other artists in Kentucky, Tony Harper, which he basically has some music as well. So the artists that I have, and even Micah, who lives in Massachusetts, is have been on different shows promoting his material. They all have promoted their material, because even in Matthew is in Canada promoting some material, as well as some short stories. And basically, like I said, you'll be able to not only find out about me, but also I want you to find out some of my artists. And basically, I'll give you probably, hopefully, the rundown of different things that has happened, not only to me, but to my other artists as well. And thank you. Yes, I also like to talk about some of the DVDs that are out that you can get from me. The Fascination of Mankind, which is actually the dominant recessive male lyrical story. Trinity, like I said, this is the comedy act, or as I call it, the frustration type of video. Be One With God, this is the separate song from the album Smile, also from the soundtrack, also from the tours that I've done. Then we also have the Dare Tour, the reinvention of Jerry. That's to let people know I'm not only old slut, old dog, or old hoe, whatever you want to call me, a nasty, freaky, whatever, that I can also be classy. The First, which is one of my comedy acts. I also have the Confessions of Jeremiah, which is a show that I performed. I also have Second Nature that I've done. I also have the Dare Tour, the shows that I performed. I also have Crazy by Strong Black Niggas, which is the lyrical story itself. I have Piece of Me, which is a lyrical story about itself. I also have Queer Fever Part 1 and Part 2 together, the lyrical story itself. I also have Yesterday, Today, and Forever, the ultimate videos. This is the ultimate classic videos. I also have the one and only, the ultimate classic videos. Yesterday, Today, and Forever, which is the classic videos as well. I do also have By Itself, and I have the King Reigns, which is a kind of by itself, basically a lyrical show. I also have In the Bed Tour, which is the show I've done. I also have Brothers Are We Tour, which is basically from the short film Brothers Are We. I also have Someone You Want, the song from Smile, and also from the soundtrack Dare to See the Truth, and also from different shows. And the one and only, I have that one. And the one and only, the ultimate hits. So basically, all the different shows I have, films that you can review. Also, like I say, my other documentaries. I also have the King of Music, the 3-part documentaries as well. And then I also have Secrets to Tell, the 2 documentary kind of show video I have. So basically, like I said, you get a little piece of me. Thank you. Song by song. Sometimes I usually do this with some of my shows. Okay, Secrets to Tell, we have The Beginning Statement, Confessions of Jeremiah. We also have Queer Fever. We also have Reaping Brothers, Rainbow Boys, Queer Fever Part 2, 1 and 2, basically. We have Forbidden Love, the new version. We also have In the Bed. Also, basically, we also have Crazy About Strong Black Niggas or Crazy About Strong Black Brothers that some of my shows do. In the Bed, which could be In the Bed tour. We also have Closet Freak, First Time, which could be the extension of the first, which was actually part of the comedy act, but which now separated it from it. We also have Eye Candy. We have Sexual Healing, Piece of Me, like Piece of Me, part of the lyrical show itself. And I also have 2 new songs, Man Lover and I Have a Secret to Tell. Also, you will also find some of the intermissions, which is different intermissions. Majority of these intermissions were from In the Bed tour. I also have the closing statement as well. I also have Tell Me intermission. We also have I Want Sex intermission. I Need You intermission. I also have Undress You and I intermission. I have the Phone Sex intermission. I also have Suck It Information. I was about to say Suck It Information, but Suck It intermission. Tonight intermission. I also have Moaning Sound intermission. Give It to Me intermission. And my new intermission, Out of Sight intermission. And basically these are part of what the show is going to be about. So hope you enjoy the documentary, hope you enjoy the show and get a chance to kind of understand a little bit more about me. Okay, have you ever thought about different things? How people just drive you crazy. You know what? Have you ever worked at a job and they just drive you crazy? A lot of people want to know why the people drive you crazy. You got to have patience in this world. You have to have a lot of patience, like I did. Usually, sometimes when I work in a hot, steamy, sweaty room, I'm not talking about that freak show that some of y'all brothers gonna be thinking about, some of y'all women be thinking about. No, I'm not gonna think about that. But let's say, give an example, you're working in the kitchen, it's hot as hell, you're trying to serve people. Let's say you work at a restaurant, or you work at a nursing home, or you just work at a truck stop or something like that, and they just keep giving you hell all the time, hell, and never give up hell. You know what? I'm tired of your shit. I'm tired. I don't know what it is. Sometimes I work at a job and I get tired of working at that job because the people just drive you crazy. It's not like they just, I'm not worried about the people talking about you, gossip, whatever that. It's just the people just drive you crazy. And have you ever seen some people slow ass? When I say slow ass, there's some people slow. Now I say maybe slow physically, slow mentally. I don't know, just slow period. Now I'm not saying retarded or anything like that. I'm just saying just slow. And I can't take it. I mean, I've had it up to here with the mess. But it's okay. It's going to be okay. And I'm going to tell you something. Sometimes people got secrets to tell. Just tell them. Don't be ashamed. Tell them. You know what I mean? Peace out. Intermission like tonight. Could be tonight. Could be a night. It could be our night. It could be whoever night. Awesome night moaning sounds, even incorporating the stuff to make it kind of even get buck wild. Even if you re-recording something and you have a beat to it, kind of like it might sound like the background of somebody talking or something, but it'd be good, you know, incorporate your different beats and stuff like that. And I mean, you got it. I mean, even if you have other songs like could be a closing statement. Sometimes you want to close that statement or have that beginning statement, like something about, it could be about you, the company, whoever. And then also, you know, you might have kind of intermissions where you can tell me or just tell me, or you could have intermission like, or you might have an intermission about you might have intermission like instead of adding just any negative, could be brothers, could be Crazy About Strong Black Brothers, something like that. Be snapping my fingers and just thinking about the Reaping Rainbow Children boy. And if you ever seen that one time on the internet, kind of like the opposite queer type of boys, gay, whatever, homos, whatever you want to call them, brothers type of in the closet, sweet brothers, whatever, you know. And then thinking about Queer Fever 1 and 2, always 1 and 2. Always when I have a song 1 and 2, always 1 and 2, always. Never forget that. And then if we're thinking about other things, I mean, just, and I even have a calendar that's out 2010, and you get to see the different pictures. Well, the head is chopped off, but it's the same thing as the calendar itself. Well, that's me again. That's me again. There I go. Again. Here I am. And these are each different days of the month that I've done. I had to strike a pose if you want to know. The style, the future. If you have to strike a pose. And I hopefully will be having another calendar out for 2011 as well. And I think that will be almost all of my books. I also have some others that will be coming out shortly, probably, like the lyrical book, the artist formerly known as Jerry. I think those are the other two that's going to be coming out, and some others. I'll probably be able to run them down for you. Okay, probably stories like Cloud Gang, Maniacs, J&J's Big Business. I also have stories probably like Carousella, Jerry's Vacation, The Villain, Double Dealer, Destructor, Wild Thing, Dr. Feelgood, House of Terror, The Future, Heartbreaker, Jerry Dean Williams, The Purple Masters. I also have a book coming out, hopefully a story, Deuce Deuce. I should have Vladimir coming out as well. And a few others, like The New Generation, hopefully. And later on, I'm hoping to do the next autobiography, The Man, the Story, and the Legend. And a few other stories, hopefully, which could come out. But like I said, some of these might be part of a collection of stories, basically. And like I said, you never know. Stories like the story of Luther, the story of John, Vladimir. I also have stories like Rebels, the Warlock, probably. I'll also have stories like Kathy and Milton. I'll have Exodus, Generation, Tina, Sarah Mary Jones, Robert Armstrong, Mystical, Miracle Man, King Thomas, Casmano's World. I'll also have like maybe Maniacs, another part of it. I'll also have Detective David Thompson. I'll have Broadway show, The Underground Kings. I'll also have The Meanest School. I'll also have The Broadway Show. And John Carl Andrews, and probably others as well. Also, I probably will have The Witches, Michael the Archangel, The Puppet Warriors, Class Reunion, which is part of my Tales of Unknown. Also, Did You See the Stranger? Brothers Night Out, The Trial Lawyer was part of it. The Next Door Neighbor, The Researcher. Also part of Tales of Unknown, The Fortune Teller, The Successful Work of the Electronic Message, and Movie Night. And also probably I'll have a cookbook, Cooking with Jeremiah. I'll have that. I'll also have the Story of Jerry and The Legendary Jerry. Some of my two Legendary Jerry and Story of Jerry, kind of like two semi-autobiographies with a little bit of fiction and a little bit of non-fiction added. I'll also have stories like Cemetery, Children of the Night. I'll also have Double Dealer, Dracula, Edward III. Other stories like Heartbreaker, Homies for Life, Invisible Kid, J&J's Big Business, Jerry's Vacation, Jerry D. Williams, Jesus, You Know the Christ, Jimmy, Knights of Armor, Shattered Dreams, Sword of England, and probably the Purple Masters and the Villain, which also are other stories I will have. I'll also have a children's book, Little Jerry, and the New Generation Factory. And like I said, I'll have other different stories, which will probably be good. Okay, I also will have probably Tales of Unknown Volume 1, Volume 2, probably the electronic version, probably the paperback version. I'll also have the full story of Tales of Unknown, all 12 stories. I'll probably have That Wins, also The Thief, Jesus Jones. This could be probably a collection with my other collections. It could be, like I said, it could be a separate story. I haven't decided yet. I probably will have stories about the horror of the 4th of July, Beautiful Stranger, Unleash J-Rock. I'll also have The Phantom of the Opera, Playboy, probably Children of Mind Games, Gangster Belong to the Hood. And like I said, it depends on either it's going to be part of a collection. It could be JJ Anthology, which could be a collection. It could be Racy and Provocative, which could be a collection, which would be 2 titles for the collections. Like I said, I haven't decided whether or not which one I'm going to do or how I'm going to present, how will it be presented in format. It could be electronic format, it could be in journals and magazines, it could be in book format, paperback, hardcover. I don't know yet, but hopefully my audience will be able to get either get one copy of my material or some copies of the material. And some of my other stories could be Club D, Kama Sutra Men of Love, or Club Dick, or whatever you want to call it. Love at First Sight, which might have 6 chapters, kind of a semi-autobiography. I say semi-autobiography. I mean or should I say like a novel, a semi-novel. Basically, I might have stories like Brothers Night Out, Sex Lies and Videotapes, Diary of Susan, Gangbangers, The Model's World. I might even have Sodom and Gomorrah, kind of different stories. Like I said, these are all stories, and this is the complete set of stories that I have that hopefully will be coming out sometime later on. And hopefully some of my readers will be able to, now I say readers, probably my audience, basically. Let's put it like that. My audience will be able to get some of my material. And I do wish that people read. I'm a person that believes in reading. I think that people need to expand their mind, do their research, make sure that they get to understand, have the knowledge in this world before you even open your mouth. Even if you want to have a conversation, have all your facts together. It's good to have your facts. It's good to watch documentaries, as well as good to read books of history, because basically that's how I kind of got together, and I've got the Bible with different history books and put them all together, read them, and I understand history more than I ever have of mankind. And I hopefully that people will understand as well, as much, or should I say, as I do, or as well as I have accomplished it. And when you read these books, read these documentaries about history, you'll kind of understand more as well. And like I said, I'm kind of like an advocate not only for Go Green or HIV, I'm also an advocate for reading. Reading is fundamental. I hope people understand not only do you have to lift weights, or should I say not only do you have to exercise your body, you have to exercise your mind, spirit, soul, whatever. Do it all. And you'll be able to kind of grasp not only the knowledge, but the understanding, wisdom, if you want to call it. And you'll know as much as possible. Okay. I believe in love. I believe in you and me. I just like to tell people that basically I think I've spoke almost about everything, but maybe a little small, some details probably about my life. Sometimes I do have I guess sometimes ugly ways, a nasty attitude sometimes. I don't really mean to have all of that. I mean, it's something I try my best. My grandmother used to have it, and I was hoping that I would never be like that, be ugly, be nasty to people, and sometimes I find myself doing that. I also have, sometimes you may not see it close up front, but boils on my body sometimes. You know, sometimes cuts, bruises, scrapes, whatever. The jobs that I work, sometimes I do kind of cut myself by accident, stuff like that. Nothing major, but I guess not only do I do the things that I do, I'm thinking about getting famous, being famous, having a lot of money. Sometimes I think that having a lot of money can really help me. And sometimes when you don't have a lot of money, it's hard for you to do things. Sometimes it's bad when you have to be at your house. All you do is go to the store, go to work, go to church, or go home, and that's it, and basically don't do nothing else. Don't go out, don't go enjoy yourself. And sometimes I'm at that point where I don't think about doing all of that. I don't know. It's very hard. And I wish that things could happen for me sometimes. And trying to have some money is hard. It's hard to get money. A lot of people want fast money. And they think by selling drugs, or especially in the selling drugs, in the drug type of business, that you can go out and make fast money. If you prostitute yourself, make fast money. Sometimes a 9-to-5 job is not worth anything, and sometimes you get tired of a 9-to-5 job. But I think in the long run, people are glad to at least have a 9-to-5 job. It's hard to go to school and go to work. Even if you go to school online, which I did at one point in my life. Went to school online. It's not easy, even though I didn't make it. I was hoping to make it. Hopefully, I'll be able to one day make it and get a degree. But until then, I guess I have to just settle for almost like second best. Well, hello. My name is Jeremiah Semien. As most of my viewers know, or have come to know, as an artist, it's not easy to do what I'm doing. As an artist, it gets difficult at some times. So, if anyone thinks about it, you have to do a lot just as a job. Being an artist is a job. You have to work at it to get to a certain point. And in this world, if you do not work at your dreams or goals, then you wind up not getting what you want in this world. So, by making a lot of these documentaries or films, by right now having these songs written, a lot of songs, having these songs out, having these stories out, short stories, or you can call them short stories, short novels or novelists, or full-length novels, or just novels. By having all of these materials out, especially the clothing line, you can buy my picture on certain clothes. So by having these things out, it's giving the audience, my fans, if you want to think about them, the public, a chance to get something from me personally. So hopefully my viewers will be able to, fans, that the public will be able to see me and understand myself as an artist. I feel that everybody in the world have their certain ways. I think I specified that in one of my videos. We all have our certain ways. We could say ugly ways or whatever you want to call it. People say certain ways. But I feel that eventually, if we just break that mold of who we are as people, I think we'll be able to find that line of happiness, or we'll be able to find, I suppose, a line to where we can not only help each other but really find that happiness. I think anyone can make it. A lot of people in the world not only get caught up in certain things. It could be anything. It could be gambling, drugs. I think we as people, human beings, we get caught up in certain things instead of get caught up in what we need to get caught up at. So eventually, in time, I think we not only get caught up in certain things, but I think in time we start to heal. That's the healing process. So, being an entertainer, not only that, because I'm also a comedian, if anybody ever saw any of my comedy acts. So, being an entertainer, we have to make a living doing what we love. And this is something that we love the most. I'm sure that if it would be anyone else, they would be doing the same thing. Okay? Who am I? The creation that the Creator has made. Hard working, I meet. Generous to greet. Serious the weight. Crazy the place. Torn from here to there. Lovers not fair. Anger tamed me. Violence killed me. Need a better chance. Need love which is never there. Truth or dare. The way is the light. I need to. I think people wonder about me personally. I think that if you're an outgoing person and that you do a lot of different things, as I am doing, or especially I've done in the past, then I think people are just curious. I think every human being is curious by nature. I think that's what we all are. But some people are really curious because they want to know your racial background and your sexual orientation. That's the two things they want to know about people. Why? Who knows? Some people, they're just nosy. Need to know. And I think that we in society should not worry about our artists or anyone for that fact. In the long run, it is everyone's personal business, not everybody's business when it comes to an individual. Well, when it comes to doing what you love the most, here's a little tip. Make sure if you ever go to college or vocational school, trade school, technical school, whatever you want to call it, when you go there, make sure that since you do the best that you can there, you can always do the best that you can out in the real world, or out in this world. Thinking about a career, as I thought about it, you have to really love it. It's something that you have to really, let me see, how can I put this? You have to really love it. Do the best that you can. Even at a job you don't really like. Sometimes if you just put forth some effort and make it, I'm sure, well, whatever it is that you need to do, if you do it, you might be able to get that chance to be promoted. Some companies do that, some don't. So I think it's up to the individual and the corporations. And at the end, the result is what matters. I think so. I don't know about anybody else, but I think that's the bottom line. A lot of people do it. A lot of people think, well, that's just what we have to do. And I'm sure in your mind, you wouldn't want somebody else to take advantage of someone you know. So I don't think we should take advantage of other people. That's something we should think about before we do it. Because in the long run, we're going to be hurting ourselves, not just the other person as well. As some of us know, just like anyone in the world, losing weight is the hardest thing to do. A lot of people try to do it. It's hard. I'll be trying to do it myself. Sometimes it's very hard. So in the process, I think we get lost. Especially being an entertainer, you get lost in the process of who you are. It's difficult, I feel, that when we, in this society, when we don't think, when we just do, when a lot of people just do all, they think, but they have immoral thoughts or wrongly thoughts, if you want to say, or wrong thoughts, whatever. It's not easy for everybody in the world to make it, but it's not impossible. That's something we have to realize. I think in the long run, it would help us all. Someone else. People bully each other or bully other people on a job. And it's something I do not like. I do not approve of things like that. So I want every one of us to know that bullying has to stop with me. It stops with you as well. Stop bullying other people. In the long run, we do not want to scar anyone for life. So thank you. And I do appreciate it if you do that. And pass the message along. Bullying should stop with you. Well, thinking about the events in a person's life, I think about it because especially with me personally, with my events that I've been through in my life, I feel that we should be able to look back in our past and not repeat it. It's not easy. It's hard, but I think we can do it if we just try. Okay? And think about this. Global warming exists. I heard from some people that a lot of people think that this is not something that exists, but it does. We need to start finding a solution now, or some of our land will be overrun by a certain amount of water. It's almost thinking about over 1 billion people that needs to be relocated to some other continent, some other country. Call me, baby, all night long. Call me, please. Call me, just call me. Well, think about certain ideas. A lot of people in this world have certain ideas, either it could be good ideas or bad ideas. I have heard or watched on television that many ideas probably are good. One of them is basically like bionic arms. They have nanotechnologies. If you lose a limb, which would be an arm, hand, it could be one of your legs, I feel that we as a society need to think about some of our ideas. They have a lot of immoral ideas too, especially when it comes to sexual favors, sexual inclinations, whatever you want to call it. I feel that every idea starts with an individual and then comes out either, or should I say that these ideas are told from one person to another, and then eventually these ideas come to life, or sometimes behind closed doors comes to life, whatever. And in the long run, I think we need to reevaluate or think of our situation in this world.